Hello, hello, and welcome to the Fast Track to Fearless. So today I'm going to be talking about just 5 ways to future-proof your career. A lot of what I've been doing recently is really about how do you get fit for the future? How do you cope when the world is changing? So these are just sort of 5 ways. Yeah. So obviously the world of work is shifting faster than ever. AI, automation, hybrid teams, new industry skill sets, everything is evolving all at once, everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. You know that movie. Yeah. So how do you make sure your career stays relevant, valuable, and fulfilling? And that you're not left behind by the next wave of change? Well, yeah, here we go. These are five ideas. Number one, is to audit your skills. So the World Economic Forum says that we're going to have, in the future, we're not just going to have one job, we're going to have many, and it's our core skills that count. And when you layer on technology, there's different kinds of skills. So the first thing to do is list your current skills under 2 different headings. The first one is technical and professional skills, the kind of like what you actually do, the what of what you do. And the second list is the human aspect, the human transferable skills. So the kind of more how you do it, you know, emotional intelligence, empathy, communication, collaboration, problem solving. So 2 things, like technical, like kind of what you do, and the second one is kind of like the how, the human bit. So then you ask yourself, well, which ones of these will still matter in 5 years? Which ones might have been replaced by technology? Yeah, which won't have been? And remember that I heard this brilliant quote recently that AI acts, but humans decide. So the human aspect is not going to go away. So think about your core skills. Which of the ones that I've got will still matter in 5 years, and which ones don't I? Which ones are going to be wiped out? Are there any others that I need? So the second one, you know, speaking of AI, is to learn to work with it, yeah, not against it. So you don't need to become a coder, but you do need to understand how AI is changing your industry, the world around us. So if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, but try and spend just 1 hour with ChatGPT or whatever. I think it's called that large language model, or whatever, you know, Gemini or whatever, Copilot, I think, etc. Claude AI, all of that kind of thing. Spend 1 hour with those with one of those, and just see how it can make your job faster, easier, or smarter. What it can do, what it can't do. Yeah. Follow credible voices on LinkedIn or wherever you get your information. You know, and I think it's always a good idea. I love learning. I love going on courses. So if you haven't already, take one AI course that's relevant to your industry before the end of the year. So just consistently learning. So number 3 is to build that adaptability muscle. You know, so the most future-proof skill isn't technical, is it? It's learning how to learn, or keeping that lifelong learning going. Adaptability. So how do you do that? Well, you know, you practice curiosity. I mean, most of the people that I know, certainly in the creative industries, are just naturally curious, you know, storytellers, interested in what makes people tick. So this one shouldn't be hard, right? So practice curiosity, ask open-ended questions, you know, volunteer for new projects, get comfortable not knowing all the answers, you know. And I think crucially, it's like thinking of your career as a portfolio rather than a ladder. You know, it's a collection of skills, experiences, ideas that you can keep remixing. Certainly for me, you know, in a past life, I was a factual entertainment TV producer. I think I use a lot of those skills in what I do now. Okay, number 4, super important, is to nurture your network. We've heard time and time again that quote, your network is your net worth. And in terms of future-proofing yourself, I think it's really, really true, because normally, well, often your next opportunity, it will probably come from a person, not a job ad. I don't know, you might think I'm wrong there, but I certainly know that most of my jobs and my work comes through extended network. So what to do about that is, one, I think reconnect with 3 old contacts this week. I recently reconnected with a wonderful person that we met 30 years ago on a TV show, and hopefully we'll get to work together now. Anyway, how to do that? So connect with old contacts, comment insightfully on people's posts on like LinkedIn, wherever you are. That's a way of networking. Yeah. Share pieces of content or insight that inspires you. So I think it's like that whole networking. It's not so much about self-promotion. It's really about building a community, staying connected to where the future is happening. Excuse me. So the 5th one is to revisit your purpose. I'm a big believer in passion and purpose. You know, if you combine those and find ways to use those in problem solving for which you get paid, that is, to me, the definition of a fulfilling career. But what does it mean? So technology will keep changing, but what won't change is probably what drives you. What's your why, your passion and purpose? So if you ask yourself, you know, what kind of impact do I want to make? What is a good way of me using my energy? What is it that's really satisfying for me? Yeah. What problems out there do I care about solving? Passion, purpose, problem solving. Yeah, you know, so I think it's about aligning that learning and that career moves to do that. So purpose is sort of like your compass or your North Star when the map keeps changing. Anyway, so the fast track to fearless takeaway here is, don't wait for the future to arrive. You know, build it, build the future, build it around you. Be curious, keep learning. That shouldn't be hard. Nurture your network, nurture and cultivate your network, and stay grounded or stay aware of what drives you, your purpose. Yeah. So I think that's how those are 5 steps or 5 ways of remaining relevant and helping you to feel fearless about the future. All right. I hope that helps. I will see you next week.